Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be revisiting a band I checked out a little while ago, a band called Tardigrade Inferno. I checked out a track a little while ago which was a cover version of We Are Number One, which was a song from a kids TV show, Lazy Town. And you know, they did this weird sort of cabaret metal version of the track, and it sounded absolutely fantastic. You know, I loved the singer's voice. She had an absolutely brilliant voice, and I had several other suggestions for tracks by them. A lot of them are like really short, but today we're going to be looking at a track called Execution is Fun. So yeah, be intrigued to see where they go with this, because outside of listening to the We Are Number One, I think I've only listened to one other track of theirs, which I think was called Hypnosis or Hypnotize. I can't remember exactly what it was. So I haven't really listened to a vast array of their music since checking out We Are Number One, specifically for this reason. So yeah, we're going to look at a track called Execution is Fun. I have some lyrics up here, and I'm not expecting it to be an incredibly deep sort of song, but you know, it'll be fun to look at the lyrics to the song anyway. So let's jump into it. So Execution's Fun by Tardigrade Inferno. Let's have a look at what we have.
Execution's fun. I think that you should come to lose yourself and to relax. Just put your head under my execution's fun. I think you should try one to put your mind back on track and swing my axe right through your neck. Execution's fun, and now the pain is gone. You will live forever after you give us a little laughter. Execution's fun, it's not for everyone. All your records must be
well. How utterly bizarre was that? I quite like the way that the video was done as well. The way it was done is like a sort of infomercial on TV. Quite silly and quite cleverly. They had like the credits to who created the video going along the bottom in that sort of ticker tape along the bottom, which was quite clever. Like I said, not an incredibly deep song, but still fun all the same. I mean, that woman, she has a fantastic voice. I mentioned in when I checked out We Are Number One that at some points her voice reminded me of Gwen Stefani when she was in No Doubt, you know, back when she actually made good music, not this bloody hollowback girl shite that she turned into. But, you know, she has a very similar to Gwen Stefani in sort of No Doubt Tragic Kingdom sort of era of the music, you know, and I think she does. She has got a great voice, you know. She can hit those really good crisp high notes, and in the We Are Number One track she actually did a really low sort of almost death metal growl, so she's got quite a good range in vocals, although there wasn't such a huge range shown here, but it's still quite a good, you know, she got a very good voice. And obviously they like to have fun. The music to that was fantastic, again with the sort of carnivalesque sort of music going on in the background along with the heavy guitars and drums and stuff. So, you know, it sounded really good. I really like it. It was very silly, very strange, quite a dark and grim video really, and the song itself is, again, despite the sort of happy and jolly sound to the song, it's actually quite dark. And even though the lyrics were quite clear, let's have a look through them. It goes, execution's fun. I think that you should come to lose yourself and to relax. Just put your head under my axe. Execution's fun. I think you should try one. To put your mind back on track, I'll swing my axe right through your neck. Execution's fun. Now the pain is gone. You will live forever after, and you'll give us all a little laughter. Sorry, can't speak. Execution's fun. It's not for everyone. All your records must be clean, and you must be at least 18. I don't know why, but that line really sort of amused me. You know, you've got to be at least 18 to be executed. And then it goes into what can only be described as a chorus. Bring me volunteers. Bring them, let me see. Help me put my hood on. Help me hand my giant axe to me. Help me stand up. Raise me to my feet. Help me swing it. Execution is complete. Execution's fast, a moment that will last. Think of joy that you will bring. You'll entertain your dear king. Chains are not free, so plan accordingly. Feel the fangs of open market. We now have a PR department. And then it goes into that chorus again. Bring me volunteers. Bring them, let me see. Help me put my hood on. Hand my giant axe to me. Help me stand up. Raise me to my feet. Help me swing it. Execution is complete. Then it goes into, is it a kind of bridge, I guess, saying, king is crazy, king is mad, ruling from the deathbed. He enjoys his bed and cushions and the morning's executions. King is crazy, king is mad. King just wants to see you dead. Life is just a bad illusion. Try my permanent solution. All prisoners are dead, so we take you instead. It is a show to see, so bring your family. Execution's fun. Oh God, what have I done? And then it goes into that chorus again. Bring me volunteers. Bring them, let me see. Help me put my hood on. Hand my giant axe to me. Help me stand up. Raise me to my feet. Help me swing it. Execution is complete. And then they repeat that chorus again before the end of the track. You know, so it's not exactly a serious song in any shape or form. It's not a really deep sort of song either. They're just, you know, having a little bit of fun, and it really comes across in the music. It comes across in the videos. You know, there's hardly anything serious about that video at all. I mean, there was lots of blood and stuff in it, but it was all done very sort of tongue-in-cheek and very silly, and I really liked it. You know, so, you know, I'm actually gonna go to their Bandcamp page and buy their album, I think, because, you know, it's just good fun. You know, it's something silly and fun to listen to when, you know, you fancy something on the lighter side of music. You know, it's still got the heavy elements to it. It's still got a sort of carnivalesque feel to it as well. So it's pretty good. I really liked it. I think it was a good bit of fun. But there's not really much else I could say on that, so I will leave that as it is. Now, if anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you could even message me through my Patreon, where you could also help to support this page, which would help me out immensely. There is an option on Patreon where you can get your suggestion jumped to the front of the queue, should you so desire. There are a couple of limitations on that, to be fair to other people who suggest tracks through regular means, like through the YouTube comments, Facebook or Instagram messages. And if you do suggest a track through those regular means, do know it might take me a while to get around to your suggestion, since I do get suggested several tracks every single day. My list grows faster than I can record the videos, but I do write down every suggestion I get, so it'll get done eventually. It just might take me a while to get around to it, I'm afraid. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those involving people of the alternative culture, and it's something I believe in very, very strongly, something I'm very, very passionate about. It's something I've had to deal with myself, and so have many of my friends, members of my family, and this is people from the alternative community getting violently attacked just purely for the fact that they are part of the alternative community, the fact that they listen to alternative music or wear alternative fashion. And it's something that just doesn't get spoken about nearly as much as it should. In fact, it gets hardly spoken about at all, and that's something that needs to change. Because every single day, all over the world, people of the alternative community are getting violently attacked just because of their taste in music and, the clothes they wear. And, we're not just talking about silly little things like getting names and insults shouted at them from across the street, or getting shoulder rammed as they walk down the street. We're talking about real violent crimes where people are getting hospitalized with broken bones and sometimes more life-threatening injuries. And this goes on all the time, but nothing is ever said about it. There's never any coverage of the fact that this is happening. Every day we hear about all these other hate crimes going on around the world: sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, religious hatred, etc. We hear these on a daily basis, from the most heinous and violent of these crimes, where someone is murdered because of the colour of their skin, their sexual orientation, or their religion, down to the most petty of these crimes, where some entitled white woman is calling the police because a family of colour are having a picnic in a public space, or a man of colour is walking down the street where he lives, and this entitled Karen doesn't think he belongs there, and for some reason thinks that he's a danger to the public even though he's not doing anything. We hear all of these every single day. We hear every facet of these every single day on all media platforms. But we don't hear about these people that are getting beaten to within an inch of their lives just purely because of their taste in music. And it's a very real problem that's been going on for decades and is just getting ignored. And that needs to change, because, last time there was any widespread talk about this was 13 years ago, when Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby were minding their own business, walking home, and they were jumped and attacked by a group of 5 or 6 people who beat and kicked and punched them and stamped on their heads so violently that they both ended up in comas. Now, Rob Maltby, he did thankfully survive. He was in a coma for around about a week, maybe a bit longer. I can't remember exactly how long, but he survived. Sophie Lancaster, on the other hand, she was in a coma for 13 days before she succumbed to her injuries and she died. This young woman, she was 20 years old, was beaten to death just because of her taste in music, just because of the clothes that she was wearing. And this happened 13 years ago. This was the last time there was widespread media coverage of the fact that this happened. But in the 13 years since that happened, several hundred people, maybe even more, from the alternative community have been attacked in a similar fashion. We've just not heard a single goddamn thing about it. Mainly because no one's died. And that's unacceptable. We shouldn't have to wait for someone to die before this sort of thing gets spoken about. For example, I think it was a year or two ago, a young woman in Glasgow was running a heavy metal charity event in a venue in Glasgow. And at one point in the evening, she had to go back to her home, which was a 5-minute walk away from the venue, for some reason or another. I think she had to change her boots because one of her boots broke or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that's beside the point. It was a 5-minute walk from the venue to her house. And in that space of time, she was attacked twice by the same group of people who beat her, punched her, knocked her to the ground, you know, basically beat the living shite out of her. And again, a group of people against one young woman. And the only reason, you know, the attack stopped was because a passing taxi driver sort of interrupted what was happening. But even then, he didn't stop to make sure that she was okay. Once the group sort of scattered, he drove off. He didn't check to see if she was okay. Where was this in the news? Why didn't we hear about this? And again, she was attacked solely for the purpose, you know, solely for the reason that she was wearing alternative fashion and she listened to alternative music. And again, it was a group of people. It is always a group of people. These cowards never, you know, do it, you know, one-on-one. It's always a group against one or a group against two. It's always the same way. Because these people are cowards. But we didn't hear anything about this in the news. Why not? It was a violent crime. This young woman was, you know, violently attacked. She was brutally beaten twice on the same night by the same group of people, making a 5-minute walk from a venue to her house. Why didn't we hear anything about this? This is what needs to change. You know, we can't allow what happened to Sophie Lancaster happen ever again. It's something that never should have happened in the first place. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening. They want people to, you know, recognise that this is a real problem. You know, these violent attacks on people of the alternative community should not go unnoticed. Because by not saying anything about it, not doing anything about it, we're essentially letting these people get away with it. And how long will it be before another person gets murdered the same way that Sophie Lancaster was? We can't have that. We can't let it happen again. You know, they don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to watch their daughter slowly die over the course of 2 weeks. It's unacceptable that this gets ignored. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can pop over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their main goal is. They've got a whole bunch of other stuff going on their website, and if you can help them out in any small way, obviously you don't feel obligated to do so, but if you can help them out in any small way, whether it's like a small donation through their website or something as simple as one of these Sophie wristbands, or maybe even this one should you so desire it, you know, they've got a whole bunch of other merchandise. You know, if you can help them out in any small way, please do, because the smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner we get more people talking about this, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.